Welcome. As a citizen of Ukraine, I have something to say to the President of America and to American people in regards of recent meeting with our president. The thing is, Zelensky is a fucking moron. He is disgrace to Ukraine, he is disgrace to Ukrainian diplomacy and to diplomacy in general. What happened recently in the Oval Office, there is no words to describe this. Even swear words are not enough. The face of our ambassador says it all. It is the face with which the most of Ukrainian people looked at their screen during these negotiations or press conference or whatever this horrible catastrophe was. We are deeply sorry that you had to deal with this level of incompetency. We choose Zelensky indeed, but everyone makes mistakes. Americans choose Biden after all, but the point is that Ukrainians realized their mistakes pretty quickly. And we tried to change Zelensky. There were a lot of talks about impeachment. There were a lot of protests right before 2022. But and he probably won't hold on for much longer. He would be removed from the office. But then Putin did the greatest gift that he could ever give to Zelensky. He started the full-scale invasion. He invaded Ukraine. And this gave Zelensky excuse. This tied the people's hands, the war, that it gives Zelensky excuse to enforce censorship, to cut down on free speech, to restrict free protests of the people. It gave him the excuse to postpone elections and stay in power indefinitely. And that's exactly why you are absolutely right. Zelensky doesn't want peace. He doesn't want the war to end. Because ending of the war means for him death political and maybe even physical, because there are a lot of stuff, from criminal negligence, from lying to his own people, to maybe possibly even straight out capital treason. And he is going to jail after this war is over and after there is proper elections and proper democratic process. So it is a matter of life and death for him that war should go on. He wants the war to continue indefinitely so he can stay in power indefinitely. And he doesn't care at all about Ukrainian people and Ukraine. Worst case scenario, all he cares, he just jumps up on his private jet filled with stolen money and flies off into the distant bright future on the overseas, into the Europe, being a government in exile, where he will go to the press conference, will tell some great speeches, everyone will applaud to him, while we in Ukraine would be under the occupation, tortured and killed. And he doesn't care about this at all. You say he hates Putin. He doesn't hate Putin. He's an actor. He pretends that he hates Putin, so he can use this as an excuse to not do negotiations, to prolong the war. He hasn't lost shit to Putin. It is me who hates Putin. I served in the Ukrainian military for the 3 years already. I served in the front lines as an infantry for 2 years. I lost my health. I lost a lot of my friends. They were killed by the Russians. I killed Russians with my own hand. I hate them with all my heart. But I am not a fucking moron. I see that we are not winning this thing, and if we just continue as it is, there will be just more and more losses and absolutely no gains. There is time to be tough, of course, and there is time to there is time to talk. There is time to cut your losses and save what you still have. And that is the time now. Of course, there are still some red lines, like not giving Putin more land that he already controls, or not cutting down on our Ukrainian military, because this is our lifeline, we can't do this. But other than that, all the Ukrainians and even Ukrainian soldiers are absolutely open to negotiations and to compromises on these other fields. Especially those one who gets basically kidnapped in the broad daylight for the forceful conscription. You saw those videos, you know what's happening. And that's what Democrats kept silence for all this time. Those people who you see protesting overseas, overboard, there are people who live in Europe, there are people who live in America, who won't stay there and have their welfare paid to them, and they want to fight this war with our hands, without actually living with the consequences of their decision. They have no say in this. Only those who actually live in Ukraine can say. And those people who live in Ukraine, they do not support Zelensky. He doesn't represent us at all. His support rating may be not 4%, but around 10 to 20, not more. Presidential office just controls whole mainstream media, putting their pre-approved military faces who get their great service conditions, special privileges, and they feeling great during this war. So they say from the television, let's fight to the last soldier, let's fight to the last Ukraine. We are willing to fight. But those people who actually fight in this war on the front lines, they are not sitting in the studios, they are not represented, nobody hears them, nobody sees them. So they try to show these pictures that everybody in Ukraine supports war. But this is not how it is, really. And I think you know it. And I know this is somewhat ridiculous request to disregard the whole president of the nation, but I still want to ask American President Trump, I want to ask American government, I want to ask American people with all humility, please don't turn your back on millions and millions honest Ukrainian people just because of one incompetent moron who by some terrible accident became our representative. We would like to change him, we really do, but we can't change the president while the war is going, and we can't stop the war until we change this president. So again, I humbly ask President Trump to don't stop support to Ukraine, to continue supporting Ukraine, while either pushing for actual elections in Ukraine right now, this would be great, we would choose new president, or if this doesn't seem possible, please try to negotiate at least some form of ceasefire with Putin. Give us 1 month of ceasefire, and we will give you new Ukrainian representative who will wear a goddamn suit, who will know how to show some respect and some gratitude, and who will make a proper deal like a grown-up man and not like a greedy man baby. With this, I end my message. God bless America and Slava Ukraini. On a little postscriptum note, as you probably know, there is not much of freedom of speech in Ukraine now. There is a huge chance that if this video succeeds in what I intend it to do, if it became noticeable, if it became viral, then there is a really huge chance that I will be found and either put into prison, in best case, and in worst case, just tortured and straight up killed. I have to wear a mask, I had to change my voice, but you understand that this is not a total anonymity. But I truly believe that this is what is right for my country, and I care for my country, for my people, for my nation, and I am willing to risk my life again for it. If this means we can save our country, Ukraine. But with this in mind, I am absolutely giving you my approval and encourage you to share this video. And if you can't do it without the link to the original, do it without the mention of the original author. You can just re-upload it on your resources, however you want. I am absolutely all for it. And on the final note, of course, I'm gonna say that I'm pretty optimistic person. I have no suicidal tendencies. My beliefs strictly forbid killing myself. So if I disappear or die for some reason, that's Ukrainian government who did it. This is Zelensky. So on this note, I'm actually saying goodbye, and I'm asking you all to share this video, especially share it overseas, especially in America. Send it to your governments, send it to your politicals who you know, send it to your influential people who you know, and please let the world know how Ukraine actually feels. On this, I say goodbye and hope to see you again.